Unity of Houston is an inclusive church where we seek to understand and live the teachings of Jesus and other spiritual masters. At Unity, we welcome all people from all spiritual paths and every walk of life. We celebrate the diversity of our city and of our world, and we teach love, tolerance, and oneness, seeking to live in harmony with open minds and open hearts.
Wherever you are in your spiritual path, you are always welcome at Unity. Join us and discover that the life of your dreams is already within you.
I'm so grateful and honored to introduce to you Reverend Arthur Johnson, our guest speaker today. When Arthur told me that he has been in ministry for 39 years, when you experience his youthfulness, his vitality, his inspiration, his passion, you're going to say, what, did he roll out of the cradle and start preaching? No, it's similar. It's something like that. It's something like that. But he's had a lifelong passion for helping individuals discover their own innate qualities and creativity and their potential and how to maximize this by knowing their connection with the divine and living their life full out. Is that something, Arthur? Is that about right? So with no further ado, I invite you to give a warm Unity welcome to Reverend Arthur Johnson.
Good morning, Unity. Good morning. I'll say that again. Good morning, Unity.
Good morning.
Good morning. I am so happy to be here with you this morning. It's something when you're invited back. It says something. Reverend Stacy and I were corresponding via email, and she said, welcome back. We're happy to have you again. I thought to myself, it really says something when you're invited back. It says a couple of things. And I think it says perhaps a great job. And then secondly, it could say, give him one more chance. So whoever voted to give me one more chance, thank you. Thank you. So to my good friend, Reverend Michael, in his absence, I am indeed grateful to be here with you. And definitely, Reverend Stacy, thank you so much for those kind words. I'm excited about today's opportunity, today's moment, because this is going to be a pivotal moment for someone. Not sure who it is, and hopefully you say it's me. Hopefully you say it's me, because you've come thus far, and hopefully you didn't come thus far just to come thus far. Hopefully you came expecting something, and I am of the firm belief that if you came expecting something, guess what? You're probably going to get exactly what you came expecting, because today's service, it is so dynamically orchestrated. It's amazing as we listen to the songs that were being sung, and it was talking about love being a decision, and then we had our pledge committee to come up. And let me clap for you, Unity, for exceeding last year's goal. And deciding to have a stretch goal this year. How many of y'all know that that's what life should be about? It should be about stretching. It should be about becoming the highest, grandest version that we possibly can be, because I'm a firm believer that who we are and what we are is God's gift to us. What we make of ourselves is our gift back to God. What we make of ourselves is our gift back to God. So, once again, congratulations, Unity, for hitting last year's goal, and I'm certain with these admirable leaders that you have, you will definitely exceed the 2026 goal as well, because as we talk about the power of decision, we're going to come to understand that nothing happens until a decision is made. Nothing happens until a decision is made. So think about that from the title, power, decision, choice. Just let those words sink in. Just let those words saturate your spirit right now. Power, decision, choice. The power of decision. Creating the life that you choose. Creating the life that you choose. Decision is not a passive word. It's a powerful and a creative word. It's a powerful and creative word because, as we said, nothing happens unless we make a decision. So let me ask you a question. Right here and right now, is there a decision that you can make that will change, alter, and or improve the quality of your life for the rest of your life? If so, I just want you to raise your hand. You don't have to look at anybody else. This is just for you, but I just want you to raise your hand, just as a sign that perhaps this particular talk is for me. Because perhaps I can make a decision that will change, alter, and or improve the rest of my life. Now let me ask you this question. Why haven't you made that decision yet? Come on. Why haven't you made that decision? Did I hear fear? Okay, good. So someone said fear. Someone else. I'm sorry?
Working on it.
Oh, you're working on it. Beautiful. Okay. So someone said fear. Someone said working on it. Oh, beautiful. I didn't know it was an option. And now that we know it's an option, we have to be willing to choose that option. But we have to choose that option by making a decision. Because remember, if I don't make a decision, nothing happens. And decision is not passive, it's creative and it's powerful. And we've basically said that, Arthur, right here and right now, there's a decision that I can make that will change, alter, and or improve the quality of my life for the rest of my life. So this is what we're going to talk about that's going to perhaps help us move from where we are to where we desire to be. That's going to perhaps allow us to move from what we have to possibly what we desire. Because how many of y'all know that there are no limits in God? Okay, yeah, that was a great place to clap, right? Yeah, there are no limits with God or to God. And I love the very first song that the praise team sang. It says that whatever I need, God's got it. Can somebody say, whatever I need, God's got it. Come on, let's say it one more time. Whatever I need, God's got it. So that means if God's got it, I got it. Yes, because if God got it, that means I got it because I am one with God. And I understand that it is God that is operating in me and through me and as me. So if God has it, I too have it. But guess what? In order for me to appropriate it, perhaps I have to make a decision to have it. Because remember, if I don't make a decision, nothing happens. Ralph Waldo Emerson, that great transformational transcendentalist, he said it like this: when you make a decision, the universe conspires to make it happen. When you make a decision, the universe conspires to make it happen. So we're going to get some assistance on today's talk. And I know we've had some issues with the job report and the job numbers and if it's correct, but I went to the basic instructions before leaving Earth, and it's in the book of Job, and it's still correct. I just want you to know, it is still correct. It is still correct. Y'all will get that one on the way home. So right there in 22 and 28 of Job, it simply says this. It says, you will decide on a matter, and it will be established for you, and light will shine on your ways. You will decide on a matter. Someone say decide. Decide. Come on, say decide. Decide. You will decide on a matter, and it will be established for you, and light will shine on your ways. I want to give 3 steps, 3 principles, 3 practices that will help us create the life that we perhaps truly desire to have. Because remember, it doesn't happen unless we make a decision. So the very first thing that I want us to be mindful of is that we must decide what we want. Say, I must decide what I want. Yeah, that's the first thing. The second thing is that you must visualize what you want. You must visualize what you want. You must be able to see it. You must be able to walk up on the stage of your imagination and see the thing that you actually desire. And we'll talk about that very briefly. And the last thing that you must do is you must do what's necessary. I know that gets us right there. You must do what's necessary in order to have what you want. Because it's not perhaps coming by way of UPS. It's not coming by way of FedEx. It's not coming by way of DHL, but perhaps it is coming by way of God and the good God that's in you and you working with God. It's no different than nature, and nature says, if you sow a seed, I'll give you back what you give to me. We don't even have to figure out how to grow a tree. All we have to do is plant the seed. Did you ever think about that? You know how to try to figure out how to grow an apple tree? God just says, sow the seed, and I'll meet the need. Sow the seed, water it, keep the weeds out, and I'll grow the tree. Our decision becomes the seed. So, Job says this: you will decide on a matter. So the very first thing that we must do, if we're going to create the perhaps life that we truly want to have, is we must decide what we want. We must decide what we want. We must decide what we want. And I say it repeatedly for your hearing. Because when we don't make a decision, nothing happens. How many of us have ever felt stuck before? Okay, we're in the right place, and I have my hand up as well. And guess what? We felt stuck not because we didn't have the ability, but because we had not made a decision. Would that be true? That it's not that I didn't have the ability, it's not that I did not have the capability, I just hadn't made a decision. So I felt stuck. So now I was faced with what's called indecision. Someone say indecision. Come on, say indecision. Yeah, so indecision is like standing at a crossroads and you are waiting for a sign of what to do or which way to go. And life is standing behind you whispering, choose, choose. But we're guilty and suffering from indecision. Raymond Charles Barker said this in a book called The Power of Decision. He was a great New Thought writer back in the 50s, 60s, and he wrote a book called The Power of Decision, and he made a very powerful statement about indecision. He says this, he says that indecision is an individual's decision to fail. Woo. Whoa, whoa. Indecision is an individual's decision to fail. Why? Because indecision is a decision. Because we're not doing anything. Nothing is happening. And we understand that if we don't decide, nothing happens. Because Job says, 22 and 28, he says, you shall decide on a matter. That's the first one. So the question is, what must I decide on? What decision do I need to make? And if you're willing to make that decision, I would venture to say that you are in the place for a blessing. If you're willing to make a decision, you're in a place for a breakthrough. Perhaps a breakthrough in belief. Perhaps a breakthrough in consciousness, if you only make a decision. The question is, will you make that decision? Will you? Okay. Okay. And the reality is we have to perhaps make the decision every day in and day out, because we have to perhaps reaffirm the decision that we made on yesterday. So every day we may have to get up and remind self that this is the decision that we made yesterday. When we were at church and the energy was flowing and the spirit was high, this is the decision that we made. You may even want to write it down. You may even want to put it in your phone in the note section. You may even want to set a reminder, right? So that it can remind you of what you decided when the spirit was high. Because once again, nothing happens until a decision is made. But once a decision is made, everything begins to happen. Once a decision is made, everything begins to happen. And once again, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do it. But I love the song that was being played. It simply said this, Ms. Starr. It said that once you make a decision, God will show you how. I wish they could put the lyrics up, but you don't have to do it. But I just want everybody to know that's what the song said. Once you decide, God will show you how. Isaiah 30:21. It simply says this. And those of us who read the daily word, this was yesterday's scripture. And I thought, wow, it's all in alignment. Because yesterday talked about guidance. If y'all don't read the daily word, y'all should get it. It's worth reading every day. And today it's talking about being brave. But yesterday, scripture was Isaiah 30:21. And it says, whether you turn to the left or whether you turn to the right, your ears will hear a voice behind you saying, this is the way, walk in it. Because if God is infinite intelligence, which God is, and if God is in me, perhaps perfect intelligence exists. Somebody said, come on. Yes, yes. Perfect intelligence exists. I just have to be willing to act on it. Because when I'm lost and I have my phone and I put where I want to go in Siri, it gives me a step-by-step path to get me to where I want to go. But I have to be willing to listen to the instruction that's given to me and then follow. Everything that we see out here from a technology standpoint is simply from the Creator. So when we look at Siri and the GPS system and it being able to, that's simply God. So we can go into the stillness, we can go into the quiet, and we can ask for insight, we can ask for guidance on what it is that we need to do in order to create that which we desire to have. And it will be revealed to us. So the question is, what decision am I ready to make right now? Repeat after me. Say, self. What decision are you ready to make right here and right now? Whatever came to mind, capture it and don't let it go. Because perhaps that's the decision. That would be the turning point. That's the decision. That would be the power point. That's the decision that will launch you from where you are to where you desire to be. What do you want? Because you must decide. And it's not a multiple choice test. We have to make a decision. And I think that's what gets us. We have too many options, too many choices. But once we make a decision, as it says, the universe conspires to make it happen. And W.H. Murray said it like this. He said, when one definitely commits themselves, providence does too. When one definitely commits themselves, providence does too. Kind of sounds like Job. You will decide on a matter don't leave out the same way you came in. Don't leave out without making a decision that will change, alter, and or improve the quality of your life for the rest of your life. The second thing that you must do after you decide what you want is you must visualize what you want. You must visualize what you want. Because when we visualize what we want, we establish it in consciousness. We establish it in consciousness. It's almost like having a mental equivalent. And I think the great Emmett Fox, he wrote a book called Mental Equivalent, The Secret of Manifesting. I'd encourage you to read it. But we create twice. First in mind and then in form. First in mind and then in form. So we want to be able to visualize the thing that we actually want, to be able to create an image of it, to have a picture of what it is that we desire, to see ourselves living this particular decision. Because once again, it establishes it within consciousness, within our own mind. Because perhaps if we don't have it in here, we'll never have it out here. But once we have it in here, it cannot help but come forth out here. I don't know if that's me or not. But we want to visualize what it is that we want. So real quickly, if you will, close your eyes for just a moment. And I want you to bring to mind the decision that you are ready to make. Just one, but bring it to mind. And take a deep breath. And I want you to see that decision being lived out. I want you to see the freedom and the joy of that experience being actualized. I want you to see your decision unfolding in motion. Take a deep breath. Affirm silently to yourself, I see it. I live it. I have it. Open your eyes and tell someone next to you, it's done. It's done. Because if we can't see it, we will not see it. If we can't see it, we will not see it. If we cannot see it, we will not see it. And perhaps the reason we continue to experience a lot of what we're experiencing because we're not seeing any more than what we're experiencing. But once we see something greater, we now give a different instruction and command to the mind, so now the mind has a picture and an image to fulfill. We should always be looking to see for more. And athletes use visualization. They see themselves carrying out their plays. They see themselves winning the game. Visionaries use visualizations as they make their creative inventions and innovations and creations. And you know who else used visualization? The way shower, the master teacher, Jesus himself. He saw wholeness where others saw sickness. He saw abundance where others saw lack. He saw more than enough where others saw not enough. Yes, he did. 5,000 needing to be fed. What do we have here? I'm not concerned about the condition. I'm only concerned about my conviction. Give me what you have. We got 2 fish and 5 ball of loaves. Oh, well, that's all? Bring me what you have. And as the story says, he took it. He blessed it, he broke it, and he passed it out. And they ate buffet style, and they took some home. That's the power of visualization. That's what visualization will do for you. But we have to be willing to use it. And lastly, so not only must we decide what we want, because Job says you shall decide on a matter, and he says, and it will be established for you. Only once we decide can it be established. We visualize it, it's established in consciousness. And the last thing that we must do is we must do what's necessary to create it. Say, I must do what's necessary to create what I want. Yeah. If it's to be, it's up to me. That's what you have to start telling yourself. If it's to be, it's up to me. And I'm not saying we're leaving God out. No, we're one with God. It's God that's guiding us, instructing us, and inspiring us, and empowering us all the way through. But God can't get to us what God cannot get through us. Because it's a matter of consciousness. We must do what's necessary in order to create what we want. It says, light will shine on your ways. Light shines as we move, not while we sit down and stand still. Light shines as we move, not while we sit down or stand still. And we don't have to see the entire path, the entire highway. It's like driving down the street, and you can't see way down the road, but you have enough light to see the next mile, to take the next step. Real quick story, and we're about to wrap up. My dad has an old vehicle, and the bright lights went out, but he still has the regular lights. And I asked him, hey, have you gotten it fixed yet? He said, no, I've not gotten it fixed yet. He says, but he calls me Junior. He says, but you know what, Junior? I have enough light to get to where I'm going. And many of us want bright light, and we're not using the light that we have. Your word should be a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my pathway. There's enough in us already to create what we desire. But we must be willing to do what's necessary. We must be willing to do what's necessary. So let's wrap this up. Because Job says, right there, 22 and 28, you will decide on a matter, and it will be established for you, and light will shine on your ways. We must decide what we want. We must visualize what we want. We must do what's necessary to create what we want. Decision without vision is confusion. Decision without vision is confusion. Vision without action is illusion, or even delusion. But decision plus vision plus action, that's creation. That's creation. I'll end with this. And basically what I've spelled by way of an acronym is DVD. DVD. And I know, I see my friend sitting over there. He said, hey, they don't make DVDs anymore. Yes, they do. Even in the midst of all our digital streaming, our digital platforms, DVDs are still being produced. DVD players are still being produced. Because not everybody is on a digital platform. Not everybody is streaming. So this is a DVD. This is one of my favorite DVDs. It's a movie, and it's called Focus by Will Smith. But the playwright had a vision for a movie, and they filmed it and recorded it, and they put it on this DVD. This one, some just focus. Follow one course until successful. Perhaps today you now have a blank DVD. And you get to walk out and begin to write whatever you want to write on your DVD. If you don't like the one that's been playing, cool. You don't have to continue to watch it because they're still making DVDs. You can make a brand new DVD. The question is, what decision will you make? What vision will you hold? What action will you take for your personal DVD? You're the screenwriter, lead actor, executive producer. It can be whatever you want it to be. It can perhaps be a love story. Love has been our theme today. It can be whatever you decide for it to be. What will it be for you? Will it remain the same? Or will it be something totally new? Something adventurous, something exciting. And today's unity writing talks about being brave. And it talks about God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of self-discipline. And one writer will say a sound mind. You have everything that you need right now to create the DVD of your dreams. Let us pray. We're so grateful for this moment. We stand in gratitude for the essence of God that is breathing us right now. We're grateful for the gift of life. We're grateful for the deposits that have been placed within us, equipping us, and the voice of the all-knowing one encouraging us, and the power of the all-powerful one empowering us to go forward and to decide boldly, to go forward and to visualize clearly, to go forward and to do creatively. We know right here and right now the decision that we need to make. Right here and right now, I pray that that decision would impress upon you in such a way that you say, I cannot leave the way I came. I don't have to have the light of the entire pathway, but I can have the light right here that's within me right now, giving me the courage to make the decision that this is where I'm taking my life. This is where I'm taking my experience. This is who I will be. This is who I will become. I will become all that I have been destined to be. I am not my circumstance. I am not my conditions. I am consciousness. I am spirit. I am God expressing through me and as me. And today I own that. Today I appreciate that. Today I give glory for that. Today I stand in gratitude for all that I am and for all that I decide to become. Because I know that there will be light that will shine on my path. Amen? And so it is.
Watching this message today. I'd like to invite you to join us in person here on campus at Unity of Houston for Sunday morning or Wednesday evening services. If you can't be with us here on our campus, you can still join us live on Facebook or on our website, unityhouston.org, Sunday mornings at 11 a.m. Central.